But first, a newly developed settlement would bring a permanent solution to a decades-old tribal water rights dispute in western Montana in a deal worth upwards of $2 billion. Well, that settlement, which forms the framework of a new agreement with the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes, would replace the pending Flathead Water Compact. MTN's Dennis Bragg has those details.
The agreement came today after recent statements from Interior Secretary David Bernhardt and Attorney General William Barr giving new indications of movement in the dispute, which had been stalled at the federal level for the past 4 years. Daines tells MTN News the agreement contains multiple elements to resolve the dispute over tribal water claims dating all the way back to the Hellgate Treaty of the 1850s.
Yeah, well, let me say this, Dennis, that today is a very important step, because we have reached a historic compromise on what has been a century-old dispute in Montana. And I've been working on this for years to reach a new agreement that would address my concerns and those of many others who've long opposed some of these other proposals. These have been tough and hard negotiations. I very much appreciate the concessions the tribe has been willing to make to get us to this point. This new framework, which I'm going to be introducing next week, will protect the water rights of all Montanans.
Under the settlement, Daines says the tribe would relinquish 97% of water rights claims with prejudice, meaning the dispute couldn't be revived through litigation at a later date. The remaining rights would be co-owned with the state of Montana, with a fraction reserved for fisheries and outdoor recreation. Additionally, this settlement would give CSKT $1.9 billion in damages, providing hundreds of millions of dollars to rehabilitate the Flathead Indian Irrigation Project and $10 million for road and infrastructure improvements in Lake and Sanders counties. The settlement also confirms Montana's constitutional claims on water and preserves the power of the water court to resolve disputes. Daines tells us the settlement would avoid an estimated $400 million over alternative proposals, a step he says gives all water users across Montana protection and certainty.
It is. It's a framework that's agreed to by the tribe as well. So it's the tribe agreement with this framework so important here, as well as many stakeholders across Montana. But it's time that we put this century-old dispute in Montana to bed.
Daines says if the settlement is approved, it wouldn't require further consideration by the legislature. In Missoula, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.
Thanks, Dennis. And Tribal Chair Ron Trahan released a statement praising the settlement, saying, quote, "This will work and get the job done." Now, Senator Jon Tester, who made the first attempt to get the compact through Congress in 2016, also praising the development and its bipartisan support. Daines says he'll work with Tester to explain the act when legislation is introduced next week.